We did it.
I know. Can you believe it?
That's a good point. What if I'm dreaming?
Welcome to MsMojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 times The Big Bang Theory said what we were all thinking.
Oh, come on, you know you want to say it. Say it. Say you love him. Say it.
For this list, we'll be looking at the most notable times the characters of this hilarious sitcom basically read our minds. Which of these moments is your favourite? Don't just think about it, let us know in the comments. Number 10, line cutters. Whether it be at Disney World or to get the latest iPhone, it can sometimes feel like we spend half our lives waiting in line.
She's doing a chat and cut.
Chat and cut?
Really? Yes, she's feigning familiarity with someone she vaguely knows for the sole purpose of cutting in line.
While no one likes it, there's still a certain etiquette that most of us try to adhere to while doing so. And there are a few things that can make us angrier than someone cutting the queue.
You don't have the authority to save places in the line. If I do that, I'll be cutting.
People do it all the time.
You know the golden rule of line etiquette. No cuts, no butts, no coconuts.
So when some dude hops in front of the guys in line, Sheldon's reaction gets to the heart of what we're all thinking.
I'm with my friends, it's cool.
Well, no, it's not cool. If there were reserved seating and we all had tickets, that'd be fine, but this line is first come, first served. Not show up tardy and nevertheless be first served.
While we probably wouldn't say anything, just like the other people in line, we're glad he spoke up.
You know, right now, at the back of this line, there's a movie fan like you who's not going to get in because this person simply doesn't care.
Number 9, Picard over Kirk. There are some very important questions we, as a society, need to ask each other. Is Coke or Pepsi the superior soft drink? Do boxers or briefs reign supreme? Who's better, Kirk or Picard?
I'm afraid we're a little late. That call for help was probably initiated over 1,000 years ago.
The answer you pick for those first two probably won't cause any huge fights with friends, but picking Picard over Kirk could be seen as sacrilegious by some. Still, it's a choice that many of us would make. So hearing that Leonard feels the same way...
Kirk or Picard?
Well, that's tricky. Original series over Next Generation, but Picard over Kirk.
Well, that's pretty satisfying. Heck, even Sheldon agrees.
Correct. You've passed the first barrier to roommatehood. You may enter.
If we're being honest though, we were also thinking we might take Janeway over both of them, but that's a whole other list.
I've known fear. It's a very healthy thing most of the time. You warn us of danger, remind us of our limits, protect us from carelessness. I've learned to trust fear.
Number 8, Toy Story 3 made us cry.
I don't think that's daylight.
It might not be cool to admit it, but we're not ashamed to say that we bawled our eyes out during the furnace scene in the third Toy Story movie. And we're going to assume we weren't the only ones in the theatre subtly pretending to scratch our cheek in order to wipe the salty water streaming down it. So, sure, we laughed at Penny calling Leonard a crybaby and bringing up Toy Story 3 as an example.
You're a big crybaby. You start, I'll join in.
I am not a crybaby.
Toy Story 3?
The toys were holding hands in a furnace.
But more importantly, we could completely relate to him. Now, someone reciting the lyrics to You've Got a Friend in Me might not cause waterworks, but we don't judge Leonard for that. It was his wedding after all.
We stick together and we can see it through, because you've got a friend in me.
Is that the song from Toy Story?
He loves that movie.
I do.
Number 7, how do you spell Hofstadter?
What are you guys doing?
We have a bunch of Bitcoin and an old laptop, and it could be worth like a lot of money.
What? You're kidding.
No, we could be sitting on a fortune.
Okay, let the record show I did not marry you for the money, but you just got way more attractive.
After 12 seasons on the air, Penny, Raj, Howard, Sheldon, and Leonard all became iconic pop culture characters. But while fans can easily name them all, writing those names out full isn't quite so easy, especially when it comes to Leonard's last name.
Really? Because I just heard, will you marry me? That's 2 proposals one day. Sounds like someone wants to spend the rest of her life telling people how to spell the name Hofstadter.
Cooper, Wolowitz, and Kuthrapali are honestly all pretty intuitive in their spelling, but Hofstadter, now that's, well, whatever the opposite of intuitive is. Drunk Penny put it perfectly when she confirmed that there's a D in the name, but admitted to never being quite sure where it goes.
Because I just don't think I'm ready for that. You know, plus I have got to learn how to spell Hofstadter. I know there's a D in there, but it keeps moving every time I try and write it.
Number 6, Howard is a child. To call Howard a mama's boy would be the understatement of the century.
Morning, Mom.
It's me.
Yes, it is, and you're so pretty in the morning.
But while we all still hoped that he would grow up and mature, especially after he got married, the truth is that he didn't really. There's nothing wrong with keeping your inner child alive, but he barely ever let his inner adult out to play.
All I'm saying is there's a time to just listen.
Thank you.
There's also a time to stop eating too many jelly beans, and it's when you're 10.
You could find him getting a tummy ache from eating too many jelly beans, or in this case, playing video games while Bernadette did their taxes.
How are the taxes going?
Okay. But you got a lot of receipts for the Lego store in here.
Those are business expenses. You can write those off.
So fans were right there with Raj when he called Howard out, even asking if his wife cuts his food for him.
What are you, a little kid? Is she gonna cut your dinner into little pieces too?
She doesn't have to. I filled up on jelly beans.
Number 5, how did Leonard get Penny?
Because if it was a good movie, you wouldn't be in it.
Whoa, hang on. There's no need to insult her.
And who are you?
I'm her boyfriend.
Isn't she too hot for you?
A little, yeah.
Allow us to start by saying we love Penny and Leonard together. Sure, they're very different, but as Stuart so beautifully put it, they make each other better.
Penny brought Leonard out of his shell. It seems like Leonard makes Penny think more deeply about the world. I don't know. Together, you two kind of make one awesome person.
With that being said, and as cute as Leonard is, Penny is arguably a lot hotter in a traditional sense. Given our society's obsession with physical appearance, the gap between their levels of attractiveness leads to one question that everyone seems to ask. How did Leonard get Penny? The fans at the Van Nuys Comic Con are so intrigued by it, they sit around in total amazement to listen to the answer.
And that is how a short, asthmatic scientist landed a stone-cold fox.
I didn't know you could propose to the same person so many times.
Number 4, why is Leonard friends with Sheldon?
But it all worked out, right?
I suppose. I do miss whistling, though.
Oh, come on, really?
First warning.
Imagine having a person in your life who doesn't let you whistle. Now imagine having one who controls the temperature in the apartment with an iron fist and tells you when you can use the bathroom.
Let me point out that 2 degrees can be the difference between water and steam. Yes, if we lived in a tea kettle, this is the temperature you agreed to in the roommate agreement. Oh, screw the roommate agreement.
Okay, now picture someone who makes you drive them everywhere and puts ground up bugs in your food. Now, consider this. It's one singular person named Sheldon Cooper doing all of this. Does that sound like a BFF? Well, it doesn't to us either. In Season 7, Professor Proton directly asks Leonard a question regarding his friendship with Sheldon that many of us had been contemplating since Season 1.
Why do you put up with Sheldon?
Oh, because we're friends.
Why?
Number 3, creepy stalkers. In Season 2, Penny introduces the guys to a little reality show called America's Next Top Model. And Howard is shocked to learn that all of these women are living in a house somewhere in Los Angeles.
That's Anais. None of the other girls in the house like her.
House? What house?
They all live in a house together.
A house where?
I don't know, somewhere in LA?
It all begins innocently enough, but things get gross pretty quickly, as he and Raj attempt to find the reality show mansion so as to con their way inside.
We're here to fix the cable.
I think we have satellite.
That's what I meant.
Oh. Okay, come on in.
They They even use government satellites to help them in their weird quest. Thankfully, Leonard speaks for all of us and points out how insanely creepy they're being.
We now have the address of the top model house.
God bless you, Google Street View registered trademark.
Okay, for the record, what you guys are doing is really creepy.
Number 2, spoiler alert. Imagine if, before watching The Empire Strikes Back for the first time, someone told you that, spoiler alert, Darth Vader was Luke's father.
He told me enough. He told me you killed him.
No. I am your father.
Or if, as you walked into the theatre to watch The Sixth Sense, someone shouted, spoiler alert, Bruce Willis's character is dead.
I see people. They don't know they're dead.
You would probably get as mad as Leonard does when Sheldon tells him that Dumbledore doesn't survive just as he starts the 6th novel in the Harry Potter series.
Just started number 6.
That's a good one. Dumbledore dies in that one. Yeah, I know. I didn't see it coming either.
While it isn't illegal to give spoilers, it probably should be, especially when they come without warning. Needless to say, Leonard's outrage here is our outrage.
What is wrong with you? If I did that, you'd bitch about it for weeks.
Yeah, oh, really, Leonard? Are you gonna have another one of your hissy fits?
Hissy fits? I have hissy fits?
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications.
Number 1, Penny loves Leonard.
I love you, Penny.
Thank you.
The moment when one says, I love you, marks a big moment in any relationship. But everyone gets to that point at their own pace.
Can I tell you a secret?
Yeah.
I screwed up. Leonard's a great guy. Never should have broken up with him.
While Leonard tells Penny he loves her in season 3, it takes 3 more seasons to finally say those 3 little words back to him. They're 3 little words that everyone watching knew were true for years, but had never been vocalized by Penny until that inadvertently heartfelt season 6 moment.
You know I love you, so will you please relax because you're driving me crazy?
You know, that's the first time you ever said that you love me.
She had hinted at it a few times, so for her to finally say it out loud made fans almost as happy as it made Leonard.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from MsMojo and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.